Welcome to another American Treasures video. Today we're opening up a 1988 Topps baseball box. Junk Wax, also known as Junk Wax. But this is our second box we're opening, and we are trying to get a set together since we have sets from 1987 and then from 1989 all the way to 97. So we're going to open these up and see what we get. There's not a whole lot here, but like we're trying to get a set, so hopefully this is going to be it looks like we got, oh, gum isn't too bad. Jay Baylor, Tom Raphael Billiard, Dwight Gooden, we got a Barry Bonds, the last box we opened, we had all kinds of gum disintegrate on cards, so I don't throw a lot of those out. Ooh, look at this card. We got a cool Eddie Murray Record Breakers card. That's a sweet card. Brett Butler Indians. Barry Larkin. But I found, though, either way, you're having, each year, there's always mostly a lot of players that aren't going to be worth anything, so even, like, in today's stuff, you're not, there's just a small portion of it where you got good players, so... Cecil Fielder. Young Cecil Fielder. Kevin Seitzer. Brett Saberhagen. And there's not a whole lot in this pack that we know of players. Len Dykstra. Terry Francona. So in the Junk Wax era, there were no inserts. Well, in the 80s up until I think 90, I forget when, early 90s it started. Where they did some like insert sets. Ken Caminiti. Sid Fernandez. So who is Tony Gwynn and Benito Santiago for the Padres? There's Benito Santiago. Good catcher for the Padres back in the day. Pat Tabler for the Indians. Well, at least the gum isn't ruined, that are stuck to it doesn't ruin the cards. I bought 87 tops, and a lot of that stuff got, the back of the cards got ruined. Tom Lasorda for the Dodgers. Wade Boggs, John Farrell for the Indians. Greg Swindell for the Indians. Ricky Henderson for the Yankees. Yeah, I think there was a period of time where that Ricky Henderson didn't leave the A's, but then I think he ended up going back to the A's. I don't know. I have to look up in the stat sheet, but he had like a couple of years where he went to the where he wasn't on the A's. Well, we got a Phil Niekro and Joe Niekro record breakers. That's a sweet card. Expos. Looking for Nolan Ryan. Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco. Those are the players you're looking for. They're not worth much. That's why not a lot of people buy this stuff anymore. Or they buy it just to buy a couple of packs for nostalgia. But Will Clark, that's not a good card. Stay unusual, turn back the clock. Seeing if this was Nolan Ryan on the Angels, but he must be on the, I think he's on the Astros now. Tim Raines, All-Star. He was a good player. I think you got Barry Bonds on here. I don't know who the other... So that's a pretty good card for the Pirates. Ozzie Smith. That's a nice card with the Wizard of Oz. Ozzie Smith. Yeah, nothing too great in this pack. Oh, Jamie Moyer. Chris Banda for the Indians. Mike Davis for the A's. Pete Rose, Reds, as when he was the manager. Dave Winfield, another good card. Mets. Doesn't say who's on there. I think it's... Let's see, Joel Skinner for the Yankees, which is a nobody. O'Brien Sandberg. That's a cool card. Terry Steinbach for the A's. Lance Parrish, Barry Jones. Kevin Bass, Tony Gwynn, and Eddie Murray. Bud Black, that's a cool card. Bud Black was a good pitcher. Jose Canseco. I think Nolan Ryan had some record breakers in this set. Hopefully, get some record breakers in this box. Glenn Davis, Billy Beane, the guy that was behind Moneyball. Wally Joyner. Darryl Strawberry. Corey Snyder for the Indians. That's a cool card. Don Mattingly. Julio Franco. Record breakers, Nolan Ryan. Nice card. So see right here, you can kind of tell there's some gum marks. That's not good for the card. things we had to deal with back in the 80s with gum. If you bought it in 88, like I did, I chewed the gum. Robin Yount. Barry Larkin, Kirby Puckett, Twins. That's a nice picture of Kirby Puckett on there. Juan Samuel, Tom Candiotti. Record breakers, Vince Coleman. And here's a Nolan Ryan. Turn back the clock. That was a classic set, and they got rid of it. I don't know when they got rid of it, but they don't use it anymore. Cal Ripken Sr., Cal Ripken Jr.'s dad. It's a neat picture. Don't know if anybody remembers that. It's the Dwight Gooden. Roger McDowell for the Mets. He was a pretty good pitcher. And Jim Acker, you survived the no gum stain on your card. You're lucky, Jim Acker. Oh, Mark McGwire, record breakers. There's Jim Acker. Andre Dawson. Gibson. Another Corey Snyder. Matt Williams. He was a good pitcher. Oh, we got a Roger Clemens. Boston Red Sox. The sets now had like, back in the 80s. I don't know when it stopped. But a lot of the sets are like 700 cards. So you had to buy quite a bit of boxes to get a complete set. Another Julio Franco. George Bell. Dickie Knowles, now with the Tigers. Mel Hall. Tommy John. Now named after elbow surgery. Here we got a Mark McGwire. Andres Galarraga for the Expos. David Cone, another decent pitcher back in the day. Tom Glavine for the Braves. Benito Santiago, record breakers. Man, my good pile has fallen over. Alan Trammell, another legend for the Detroit Tigers. Anybody in here? Tony Pena, catcher, good catcher back then. Can we get a regular Nolan Ryan card? Ozzie Smith All-Star card. Rafael Palmeiro when he was with the Cubs. Sparky Anderson, a good manager for the Tigers, legendary. Indians team leaders. Andre Dawson, All-Star card. Ozzie Guillen. So you can kind of see already the amount of cards. Looking here already of all pretty much common cards in the back. And probably most of this too. So nothing has changed from 88 to 2026. Don Mattingly for the Yankees. So this there's a 30 for 30 out with the Mets called featuring Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry. It's called Doc and Darryl, and Dave Johnson is interviewed, and I guess he was back in the 80s. I didn't know too much about the Mets other than Strawberry and Gooden, and I guess he was a pretty good manager back in the 80s. Oral Hershiser. Paul Assenmacher. Everybody else is, who knows who they are. Don't know too many of these other guys. Wayne Tolleson. I don't know who that is, but I'm just naming off some names. Terry McGriff. Don't know who that is either. Just naming off, rattling off names. Gary Carter for the Mets. He was a good player back in the 80s. Lou Piniella, manager for the Yankees. Let me see, that should go there. Alright. Jack Clark, All-Star card. Don't know who he is for the Cardinals. Another Chris Bando. Jim Rice. Dennis Martinez, and a checklist card for the Expos, who later became the Washington Nationals. Tony Gwynn, All-Star card. Got another Eddie Murray. Don Mattingly, All-Star card. Cal Ripken. Where are you, Nolan Ryan? I want regular Nolan Ryan card. Last pack. Did we get a Nolan Ryan? I think the only major card in this set that we haven't pulled yet. Eric Plunk, good reliever. Another Barry Bonds. And checklist. So no Nolan Ryan. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And Don't forget to check out the links below for our website, eBay store, and Facebook page. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and check out all of our other videos. I think we're around 300 videos now, so check that out. Thank you for watching.